Hello, listeners. I'm CC Thornley, and this is Emily Wolfe.
Hello.
And this is episode 9 of the Wolfe and Thorn Heritage Fiddle Tasmanian podcast, take 2.
Of fiddles.
That do podcasting.
Yep.
And yeah.
And banjo.
And allied instruments. So we recorded this beautiful podcast, and I did it again. The old device I'm using to record it decided, no. I got another idea. I'm just going to have a snooze.
Yep.
So we lost it all. So we're going to do this podcast again. So this is episode 9, take 2. Gosh, Emily, what has happened this week? How are your feelings? How have you been?
It's like we never had this conversation before.
It's stilted and awkward. I am good. Thank you for asking me.
Yeah, the sun is out and it is a nice day. Oh, look, you can't help it. We're always fighting technology and, that's fine. That's, we are recording this in your lounge room. We're at your house today.
That's true. Normally we're at the beautiful Chateau Les Wolfe,
yes.
And there's a wonderful view of the ocean there, whereas we're looking at my pumpkins now, which are pretty impressive.
Yeah, they're all right.
Yeah, they're over there.
Don't
look at the second pumpkin. They're the reject pumpkins over there.
Oh,
they're
okay,
the
right.
I'm starting up a little pumpkin farm in my backyard.
The A grade and the B grade pumpkins. Yeah.
Anyway, so for those who don't know or aren't aware or have just tuned in to and decided to start this podcast at episode 9 for some reason.
Why would you? Go back to episode 1.
Look, I don't care how you got here. I'm just happy you've arrived. We do a little ensemble. We're from Tasmania and we play Tasmanian heritage music. There's a big canon and a thing down here of Tasmanian music not many people know about, particularly the rest of Australia, and we like to keep it that way, frankly. But they can do whatever they want. We don't care. Anyway, what I was going to say was, yes, and we run this ensemble, and at the moment it's just on school holidays, but we'll be back on February the
10th.
It's February the 10th. So if you'd like to get involved with Tasmanian folk music, learn how to play it. If you're playing your instrument and you're new or you're seasoned, if you want to, we take everyone from rank beginners right through to, we've got classical players in there, jazz players, and get some chops under your fingers, network a bit. We do workshops and we do all sorts of things there for student thingies because it's kind of like a mentoring project.
Yep.
But Emily Wolfe and I also play these songs at a professional capacity because we went to the conservatorium and we learnt to play music.
Professionally.
Yes.
Can't you tell? That was amazing. Wow.
Thank you very much.
That was totally worth it.
And that was a $50,000 hex debt. Yeah.
Wow, totally worth every cent.
Well, we've got no news. We've done all the... It's like midway through January. We've done a lot of gigs. The next gig we're going to be playing that live in Hobart will be the Rectango gig, which we sort of spoke about. But that's not with Wolfe and Thorn. That's with our alter egos, the evil electric funk band, Black Swans of Trespass, that has...
We all wear fancy outfits.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's quite... Yeah, it's very fancy.
It's full on.
The whole thing's fancy.
Yep.
And we play funky electric banjo stuff, and that will be at Rectango. And if you're not from Hobart, you don't know about Rectango.
You'll be living under a rock.
Yeah,
Really?
I can't help you. You're on your own.
Look, it's an awesome little outdoor venue, purely weather permitting. So if it's raining, they don't have it on, but you don't know about that till sometimes half an hour before. So keep an eye on Facebook because they upload status through their page. But it's a free event, but, they do to keep it going, they have a donation box on the bar and it's a great little, it's awesome. It's run by a collective of really good musicians and who just support local music. And so because of COVID, they've got a restriction only letting 100 people in, but you can dance and you can buy drinks at the bar and support musicians, have a good time. So 6 till 7:30.
Yeah, it's a bit of a Hobart institution. So if you're new to Hobart, go down to Salamanca Place and head down to the Peacock Theatre.
Yeah, so you can get to it going up Wooby's Lane or down Wooby's Lane, and it's the courtyard sort of behind the Peacock Theatre.
They have a wicked band every Friday.
Yeah. Always.
And this Friday happens to be ours.
Our wicked band.
So this is the one that you really have to go to.
Ignore all the other ones. This one, you really have to go.
But it's not exactly folk music. Anyway, but this podcast is folk music, and we're going to play you some folk tunes. I've been trying to crack the Fred Pryback code and get Fryback.
Just start that again.
Big deep breaths. I was trying to get Fred Pryback to come and drop in some of his knowledge of tunes that he's got, because he represents a whole other world of Tasmanian folk music, and but he hasn't got in touch with us yet, and I don't know if he's going to be getting in touch with us by the time we finish this season, but in the next season we'll definitely get him in. But we will be featuring some songs today by Marjorie Gadd, who is the other half of Steve Gadd. She's actually the top half of Steve Gadd.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I was trying to dig out some really old tunes. So, well, for me, old tunes that I used to play a lot, but not so much now. So I've got a couple from Marjorie, one from a past member of the group, and then the first tune we're going to play today is by Alexander Laing. And then we've got one by you. That we'll finish with today that I agreed to do. I'm
regretting this. Yeah, no, good. Okay, great.
Be fine. It's positive. A nice tune. It's a good.
It has a story. It has a narrative behind it.
So that'll be
moderately interesting.
It's moderately, Just hang out to the end, folks, and it'll be.
It's interesting enough to listen to, but it's not interesting enough to get super excited about. And
you're really selling it today.
It's just nice.
It's just nice. Yeah, well, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Now, we've spoken about Alexander... Look, oh, God, what's wrong with me? We've spoken about Alexander Laing. You need new, but does new. I quit.
I think it's because we're doing this the second time and we just lost the wheel.
I'm resigning.
We could do this. This is written by Alexander Laing. We've talked about him numerous of times throughout our previous episodes. Mm-hmm. I don't know the background of this tune. I'm just going to read the title. It's Betsy Blinkworth at Newtown, Van Diemen's Land. We don't
know who Betsy was. We know roughly where Newtown is. We don't know anything about Van Diemen's Land.
Well, except Van Diemen's Land was the previous name of Tassie, but that's about it. What? Did you... Shut the front door.
I thought it was Abbotsfield.
Abbotsfield.
Anyway,
this is a really cute little tune. Yeah. It's in a fun key, and we're going to play it for you now.
Great.
Yeah, get ready.
The fun key she's talking about for kids at home, B flat.
Well,
That was Betsy Blinkworth at Newtown, Van Diemen's Land by Alexander Laing. That was in the key of B flat, which is an unusual key for most of these sort of folk situations. Normally they like keys like banjos love the key of G. They cope very well in D and C. Fiddles love the key of D and A. But the flat keys are a bit unusual.
Yeah, but it's really sweet though when we come across them. And I like how it resonates F and B flat. I think it's really nice. When you start to go three flats, it's harder to resonate as nicely, like particularly in the folk tunes. But I think in different genres, so I know in Scottish music they tend to B flat comes across a bit more often because I think the bagpipes are tuned to those flat keys. So that's good. It's good fun. We need a challenge.
Yeah. And if you look, I was just about to say, if you're after a banjo challenge, if you're sort of new to banjo and you're not really around those accidental keys, the flats and the sharps, B flat is a great place to start putting all that together because you've got a lot of forgiveness on the fretboard. So if I play, for example, a B flat position, like you can't. The problem with B flat is you can't resolve to your B string. You've got to resolve to the B flat. Otherwise, it sounds like you get this sort of clash going on. But with the B flat, if you've got all closed position here, I've got my open G string on top, that half string if I'm playing a 5 string, and it makes a really nice. That's that ding on the top there, and the same with F. So if you get into B flat, it's a nice place to start getting on top of those closed positions and getting around those things. Because I find that with other keys, like for example A flat or crazy stuff like D flat or something like that, you've got to take this guy into account. He is a lot harder to deal with than that guy.
And the same for fiddle. If you get into A flat or D flat, you can't use any open strings. You've got to use low fourth, and your whole hands are like a lower position. It's a bit harder to get the intonations, a little bit less forgiving. I find if you go into those more flat keys, we have to work harder. We can't just put a capo on it and just go, oh, she'll be right. We have to work hard.
Here we go. So what I was going to say was, do you reckon there's a key that you find hardest out of those? Like, do you rank them in terms of difficulty for yourself?
Well, look, I used to find D flat really tricky because I just didn't play it that much because it's just not really a common key. But then when I started working with singer-songwriters, they love that key. D flat. I love it. But it was good. But it was good for me though because it really pushed me to get better at that key, and now I'm really comfy with that key. But
because D flat is also C sharp, so if you think about it, if you're playing in C sharp, that means every single note has to be sharp.
I know. So sometimes if it goes to too many flats, I sort of when I started learning D flat, I was like, well, I could play it as like C sharp minor, no C sharp major, But then I was like, because it's a different hand shape on violin, so everything's really spaced out then. But I find it easier with flats because it's more of a closed, everything's a bit lower. It's a bit easier to, I always remember in finger patterns when I go to the flat keys.
So here's a question for you. We're talking sharps and flats. We just taught C sharp and D flat. And you're saying it's easier playing flats, but surely to the layman, isn't a sharp somebody else's flat? Isn't somebody's flat somebody else's sharp?
Yes, well, yeah, then you start going down the rabbit hole with that.
That's true. And so I've got an answer for that. And the reason is that it's not just the notes are never just alone. The notes are part of a system of scale and a system of cadence. So it's easier to think about how you get around D flat than it is to think about how you get around C sharp, even though they're exactly the same notes. It's just how your brain processes the shapes and stuff like that. So when people say to you, that sort of stuff, that's the mystery there. That's why they will tell you, no, I want G sharp, not A flat. No, A flat, not G sharp.
Yeah, but it's the same.
It's the same thing.
But it just depends on, it is different for violin. It is a different pattern for your notes if you're going to play it in a sharp or flat. But anyway, it's just I sometimes find it easier to flip it just for my hand pattern, for my hand shape. But it's all the fun things.
Just get out there and play.
Just get out there and play. I think I like tricky keys. I kind of don't shy away from it now. I'm kind of yep, let's do it.
Me neither. Because there's discovery in them.
Yes. And so I'm always up for that.
So sorry, I was cutting you off.
Yeah, don't do that. Gosh.
Come on, get on with it. We just spent half the day doing a podcast that we had to throw in the bin.
I know, because you didn't check your device.
You're right, device.
I'm going to blame you on that one. So we're going to let's go into our second tune. This one's written by Marjorie Gadd. As you said, the top half of Steve Gadd.
I'm just picturing a Gadd centaur at the moment, just trying to figure out how that's going to work.
That's terrible.
The body of a man and the bottom half of a man.
Okay, let's not go down this road. Let's just not. But look, this is a really beautiful tune that Marjorie wrote, and a couple of weeks ago in our podcast, we played a tune by Steve, and he was telling the background of that story, and him and Marjorie were at a cabin somewhere secluded, and I think they were at a challenge to write 5 tunes in a day or in a space of time, and this was one of the tunes that Marjorie wrote, and it's called Norah's Waltz, and it's written for her, which is named after her sister, who's called Norah. So this is Norah's Waltz. All right, let's do it. 2, 3, 4, 5.
great tune.
Yeah, it's a pretty little tune.
There's
you.
a bit in that reminds me of an old theme to an old Western movie, and I can't remember what it is, but that movement of that. That's really sweet. That movement there that I just played was a D to an F sharp minor, which, if you're on the banjo and you're listening to this podcast for the banjo content, like I know at least 2 of you have been at some point.
Those lucky 2 people.
The difference between a D major and an F sharp minor, it's one note. So find where that is on your fretboard, and then apply it to other things. If that's the case, if D is there and F sharp minor is there and there's one note between them, well, what would it be for G? G is there, and I guess it's going to be what? B flat? No.
Just no.
B minor. That kind of thing.
Yes, it looks that easy. I can almost do it, but I won't.
She won't.
No, I won't. Let's move on to our next tune.
The next tune?
Yes, this is written by a past member, and her name is Jessica Littler, and she wrote this tune in 2009, and it's called A Cat Called May. And the name of the tune comes from Marjorie and Steve's old cat, and her name was May. She was a beautiful, lovely, fluffy cat. She was really cool.
Right.
Yeah.
A Cat Called May.
A Cat Called May.
Now forever immortal. Because this was quite a popular tune a while back when we were playing it.
Yeah.
I remember a couple of years ago we used to play this quite a lot. It's got quite a good feel to it.
Yeah, it's quite a jumpy sort of melody, and it is really fun to play.
It was written in 2009, so it's a very recent addition.
Yeah. It's a good tune.
A point of mild interest might be that Jessica Littler, she was the smallest Jessica we had in the ensemble at the time, but she went on to become a nun.
Yeah, she did.
Fancy that. People
in
do
the
things
States,
with their lives. And they move places and things happen to them.
That's right, but we still play a tune.
Yeah.
It's a good tune.
Are you going to play it?
Yeah, we're just going to talk about it.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was The Cat Called May. Next.
Okay, let's do it. This
right,
is A Cat Called May.
Cannot remember how this goes right now. 6/8, yeah?
Yep.
Da, 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 da.
1 and 2.
Did you know this cat?
I did.
Was it like the song?
Yeah, she was very... Yeah. It's accurate to her personality. Look, it was a while ago because...
What's the song like then if the cat was like it?
What do you mean?
Well, was it the cat... How do you feel the song was?
That fitted the personality of May.
Yeah, because I said to you, was the cat like the song?
Yeah.
And yet we don't have any criteria except for our musical feelings about
That's
what
true.
the song is like. So we need a word that we can legally stick to, that will stand up in a court of law, that will describe the cat that was in the song. I was going to go for sort of something along the lines of gambling or bouncy.
Yeah, bouncy.
Is that what you would say?
I would go bouncy.
So it was a bouncy cat.
Bouncy cat.
We've established that the cat called May was bouncy. Thank you very much.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yes, that description is now legally binding. That was A Cat Called May from 2009 from the Tasmanian Heritage Ensemble, written by one of the members who is no longer about, but they're welcome to come back. It's not like we told them to go away. But people
She
come.
just moved to a different part of the world.
People come and people go. So that was that. And so, but the thing is, like, people come into Tasmania, they share with their gifts, their musical gifts, and they get fostered and metaphorically put in the lovely fertile garden bed of the Tasmanian folk community, and they grow. And sometimes they drop off big fat fruits and seeds,
Which are tunes.
which are other little baby tunes waiting to be put in the ground and watered and cared for every day.
That's amazing.
The next song we're going to sing. Tell me about that.
The sing.
Emily.
We're going to sing it.
The next tune we're going to play. Isn't it funny? Because I don't even make the distinction between tunes and songs.
I know, it drives me insane.
And then sometimes I'll go to the band and rehearse and say, just give me the groove.
Yeah.
Just give me the funk. That's all I care about.
Yeah, but we can't do that. Well, we could.
Well, you see, because then, when I say funk, people expect it to be like... But it's, for me, funk is like anything that's groovy.
Yep. Nice.
Which is a lot of things. Which, when you wake up in the morning, could be me walking down the hallway to put on the kettle, like dunk, 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 ching, dunk. It's a whole groove in that.
That was cool.
I could have done that with sound effects.
You could have done that. You should do that with sound effects.
I
Get a
should.
bit adventurous.
Waste of time, though.
Oh,
I've already done it with my mouth.
that's enough. All right,
That'll
well, we're going to get into our next tune. This is another one written by Marjorie, and I particularly like this tune. This is a really fun one to play, and it was written back in 2008.
Right.
I remember this tune very well, and it's got lots of Hemiolas in it. And
Hemiolas. Wasn't he that elf from Lord of the Rings?
yeah, didn't he have the ring that took it to that place?
I don't know. There's rings, orcs, goblins. I don't know.
Talking trees.
Yeah.
No, but a Hemiola, for those who don't know, is...
She was actually a Greek goddess. Oh, sorry.
Shush, great goddess. Just shush.
No, Emily's going to lay down a fact bomb here.
I am going to lay down a fact, and it's accurate too. I'm not just...
How do we know it's accurate? Because it's on the interwebs.
Yes, that is what I'm reading from. So it's
research. This is research. You know when you're on Facebook and they say, do your research, this is what they mean. This is what they're talking about, folks.
Yep, so listen and learn. So Hemiola is a rhythmic pattern of syncopated beats with 2 beats in the time of 3 or 3 beats in the time of 2. So the title of this tune is Hemiolas on Holiday, and it's really good fun because there's plenty throughout the tune, so it makes it really, really fun to play. So, and this is a newbie for you, isn't it?
Yeah, Hemiolas. I only know Hemiolas from the Peter Jackson movies. I've never read the book.
I was referring to the tune, but anyway.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. Keep up.
I've never played this before. I've never seen it. I've heard it mentioned many times, but I've never played it.
But we're going to play it for you now. Hemiolas.
So I got a choice here. Like, should I strap up and put on the capo, or should I just go naked and play without the capo?
Well, look, you were practicing before with the capo.
Yeah.
Why don't you try with the capo?
All right, just
take the easy route.
The easy route. Yeah, and then so if I put this on, I'm not really thinking about chords, then I'm just thinking about 1s and 4s and 5s. So I've got my capo now on the 2nd fret straight up and down. So if I look at that as an A chord, I've got, excluding the, well, I've also sharpened up the tuning on my G string here. So it's now an A. So I've got A, E, A, C sharp, E, which is 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, which is your major chord. And then I've got a 4 chord right in front of that and a 5 chord in front of that. And most of what I'm going to do is going to rely around that, which is, cheat, easy way. If I was doing this without the capo, I'd have to think about all my closed position chords.
Yeah, but just
that. So have a look. I'm just making a point of that so that the listeners out there who are enthusiastic about banjo or in some form of musicology, they've got that information there.
Yeah. But violins, we don't put capers on. We actually do all the work.
all she does is she gets this thing and she rubs across the strings and then runs her fingers up and down them.
Across the strings.
That's all she does.
That's all. Well, you just have like a.
I took one of these things into a bunch of scientists, and I said to them, "Look, I've got this device that is capable of sending an invisible vibration through the air that penetrates people's skulls and causes them to have emotional reactions." And they said, like telepathy? I said, I guess. Sure. And I said, you've discovered psychokinesis and telepathy? I said, yes, here in this device. So they took the device. It was just a simple violin. A couple of weeks later, they came back to me and said I was a charlatan, I was a fraud. They opened up the violin and had a look inside. There was nothing inside it, just air, no mechanism, no electromagnetic pulse, no transmitter, no receiver. There's no way it could. And so they tried to make the vibrations on the strings.
Yep.
Yeah, and it just gave them all headaches. It didn't. They said that there was no such thing as music, and that music is a scam. And get out of here, you charlatan. Right. That's what they said.
Well, they're wrong.
They're wrong.
They're wrong.
Science is wrong.
No, that's not what I said.
Emily Wolfe said it here first on the podcast.
I did not.
Science is wrong. Do your research. Do your research. Science is wrong.
Did not say that. I just meant with that topic. Don't twist my words. I'm going to keep an eye on you, bearded man. All right.
Hemiolas on holiday.
Let's do it. We should get around to it. All right. Are you ready?
I think so. Yeah, I might just... Let's go.
All right. 1, 2, 4.
Well, that was a sneaky maneuver.
Sorry, yeah.
That was very good.
No, I like the little ending where that sort of came in later. Like that was sort of an added thing. It's just habit.
Yeah, right.
It's a really fun little thing.
What a great tune.
Yes.
Well done, Marjorie Gadd. They were rocking tunes.
Yeah, it's a
They
really
had the
fun.
funk.
I think we need to bring that back because it's again one of those tunes we used to play a lot, but not so much now. But I really like that tune. So thanks, Marjorie, for writing it.
Great feel.
Yeah, it's a good one. All right, we're up to our last tune.
Really?
Yes.
Because you've said that before.
No, okay, we've done Betsy, we've done Norah's, we've done the cat, Hemiolas. Yep, we're
5.
Up. We're up to you
Anything
now.
more than 4 is 5. That's science, kids.
That's science.
Do your research.
And that's true.
Yeah. Anything more than 4 is 5.
We went to jazz school, so we can count up past 4.
Yeah, 5. See? How easy was that?
Whoa.
You can do that at home.
Thank God we're sitting down.
Anyway, so this next tune was written by
You.
me. Oh, God.
Oh.
So
It's all on you now.
Emily and I have this friendly rivalry.
Friendly.
And so she's won the Tasmanian Song Contest twice. And I won the Tasmanian Song Contest twice with 2 different tunes. And I went to try and win it again this week. I thought, I'm going to destroy her. And so, me and Emily quietly got our little songs together. Or so I thought. It was really just me getting my song together. Because when I submitted it, Emily's wasn't ready. So we put this in, and this song's called The Queenstown Rains, and I wrote it, and it went into the song contest, and it didn't win. I was beaten by Dave McNamara. But Dave McNamara is a squeezebox player.
Yes.
Can you believe that? An accordion beaten by a banjo.
Oh, well, I'm sure.
Anyway.
Don't take to heart.
No, I haven't heard the song yet.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. Well, he's all right, I suppose.
He likes our podcast.
He's a fine gentleman. Exemplary man. Anyway, well, I haven't heard his tune. I'm really keen to hear it. But this was a tune that I wrote, and I wrote it whilst I was in Queenstown in the rain, so I called Queenstown Rains. And if you go online and put in CC Thornley Queenstown Rains on YouTube, there's 2 videos out there. One of them is my submission for the for the song contest, because I couldn't go to it. I had to send them a video so that people could hear my tune. And the second video is the same video, but with an extended explanation of the devices I've used in the tune. I added a C section. So we're just going to play the A and B section. Emily's going to play the melody, because over the time since I've been playing this, the melody has mutated into a habitual run that I do.
Yep. Why am I not surprised?
Yes, because I'm the compost man. Things come inside me, they dissolve, and I make them grow.
But it's a good tune. I like your tunes.
You do?
I do. Were you so surprised when I sang
am
it?
surprised.
No, they were nice.
The first tune I wrote, the one that I won the first one with, that was like a bluegrass activity.
That was doing stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was a bit worried that people would get a bit annoyed, because it's like just... It's got that run in it and a few other runs and stuff, and there's a little bit of one of the bars is cut into 2/4. I thought that's probably a bit too fancy.
Being a bit fancy. No, but it's good though. It's really fun to play.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
And the other one I wrote was the Sentimental Rag, which was an ongoing project to write a soundtrack for a silent film, which is a fun exercise to do. Lots of people do it. That one. But when I presented that to the Heritage Ensemble, and they were quite right in this assessment, they said it's far too notey. For it was too notey.
The Sentimental Rag.
Sentimental Rag, yeah.
Yeah. I
And they were
remember
right.
how that goes.
It's sort of like a...
Can you remember how it goes? Oh, that's right. That part. Yeah, that's right. I remember now. Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
That's also online if you want to have a listen to that.
Yeah.
And I had to throw that together because, once again, on the day I couldn't attend, so I had to send them an MP3 and they had nothing to show the people. So they just went, Carl has won the competition. That's it. Competition's closed. Go home now. Thank you. You can shut all the doors. And people got suspicious, but there was no illusion going on.
Yes, and I've got it. I've won it twice with a tune, and I got a People's Choice Award for my first time I did it, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
with my first tune called Alone in the Hills.
Ooh, that sounds romantic.
Well, it does actually. It's kind of it's in C minor, so it's like moody. Yeah, it was a cool tune. It was a slow jig. I have to find it. I have to show it to you. Yes. And then I did Baked Spud. That won the first time.
Right.
And then
Yes, that's a good tune.
World of Beatrix Potter with the last one.
I want to find a tune that's just crap.
Well, we better quick write one.
This could be it, folks. This is the Queenstown Rains by CC Thornley. Are you ready?
Sure.
So we're just going to do the A and the B.
Totally do this.
If you mess up, I'm just going to go, Emily!
All right.
All right, very good. Top. messy
Aw.
on my behalf? You're fine. It was really good.
That's the
because
correct
normally, because I
answer.
don't think I've played this with you before,
We've played it a couple of times.
but not fully. Yeah.
You just forget when we play it together.
Sorry,
It's a nice tune.
What's your name
We
again?
could... Who are you? Where are we?
Is this my face? Is this what I look like?
Unfortunately, yes, it is.
I've been going around like this for how long?
Yeah, we have to look at it every time. Jeez. Well,
From now on, I'm putting my pants on my head.
Well, that was the Queenstown Rains. Thank you, Carl, for writing that.
Hey, it's nothing, man. Like, cheers.
Cheers.
Good on ya.
Cheers. Good on you. All right.
So if you want to hear the full in-depth explanation about that tune, if you are mildly interested, it is on the internet. Yeah. Just look up CC Thornley, Queenstown Rains. Go for the 7-minute version. That'll have the explanation.
Yeah.
And you'll hear how I approach it solo on the banjo as well, where I'm playing most of the melody. Yeah.
Beautiful.
You can get right up and see the fingers and everything.
Oh, well, yes, it's a good video.
Don't go near the face.
Yeah, no, don't just
touch the face.
avert your eyes from the face. Well, that's our 5 tunes.
Thank you
for
very
today.
much for listening. Now, this is our penultimate. Say that again and put some special effects on it. Penultimate podcast. So we've got one more and then this season is closed. And next week, what we're going to do is we're going to go back and review our favourite tune from every podcast that we've done. So you'll get a massive load. You get a massive load in your ear.
Be ready for it.
Yeah.
We'll have jokes and puns and semi-accurate information.
It's mostly mildly interesting, not very interesting. We don't want to upset you, but at the same time, we don't want you to leave.
No, but just stay around, please.
Just, come on, just give us a good review.
Just one more episode, and then we'll give you a break. But thank you for listening.
Yes. Drop us a note. Say good day.
Take care.
Yeah, look after yourselves. As we say in Tassie, careful now. Careful.
Careful now.
Three, two, one. Hello, ladies and listeners and gentlemen of watchers. I'll do it again. Do what you like. Shall we go on? Let's go. She's pretty loud in the loo. There will be a flush.